A lot can change in 6 months, and also there are a lot of things in my current life that 6 months ago I would not have thought. How come I don't know how to finish that sentence? There are things I didn't expect to be doing at this point 6 months ago. I can't necessarily say that I would have thought I would have been in a robe at this point in this season. I mean, it's not really surprising considering where I live. Sometimes we do get a Memorial Day winter storm or what have you. Anyway, it feels like a night to be cozy. I wish I had like a cup of tea or something to also be more cozy, but I don't. But yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about the journey that has been the last 6 months. From the first day I posted a video thinking that I would just do a 30-day daily video challenge until now, 4 days later, still posting every single day. It has definitely been a journey. This isn't just about videos. It's about becoming the person that I used to be afraid to be. Hey, my name is Darz. Thanks for being here. On this channel, we learn, we grow, we push ourselves to be better, expand the comfort zone, experience new things, and most of all, work towards a life that we desire or want or enjoy or dream of. One thing that I always envied other YouTubers for, the people that have a larger audience, is they can always jump on Instagram, jump on YouTube, just quick be like, hey, any questions for me? I'm going to do a Q&A video. Well, my audience isn't quite big enough to that point where I actually get a bunch of questions when I ask. So I thankfully have ChatGPT to ask, what questions do you think my audience would ask me about doing 6 whole months of daily video? So the beginning, why I started. Why did I start this daily video challenge? Well, let's just start with where I was about 6 months ago. I had just started a new job not very long before that. I moved back in with my parents. Well, I wasn't with them at the time because they were not living at the house. The house was empty, but I moved back into my parents' house. I was starting a kind of new chapter of life, shall we say, and didn't know. I was kind of struggling. I felt like I was just doing the daily things, the daily grind, and wasn't really working towards any sort of future. I felt like I've been on YouTube a long time and I haven't seen the growth that I would have expected by now. I need to really start to experiment and learn what I'm doing here and try to figure things out. And I had also had this idea in the back of my head for a really long time and thought, okay, now's a good time to try. Let's do it. Let me challenge myself and see how far I can go. So I wanted accountability to do regular habits that would keep me on track, or like things that I want to actually have in my life, but it seems like responsibilities always get in the way of doing those things. I wanted to work on my YouTube channel. I wanted to improve my video and speaking and other skills that you improve with video. I have a lot of questions, so I'm going to try not to answer them too in depth, but also I haven't gone through these questions and thought through exactly how this video is going to sound or how I'm going to be able to explain certain answers to questions. So it might make me answer questions a little more in depth because I'm like, okay, let me try to feel this out and see where the answer goes. So what were you hoping to find or prove to yourself? I was hoping to find my reason for being here, prove to myself that I can do something hard. Basically expanding the comfort zone in every way because I've never done this before. So it has definitely been an expansion of the comfort zone. What fears or doubts did you have at the beginning? Oh my gosh, I was so doubtful that I could even do 30 days straight. I was like, having kids, you're so busy all the time, plus having a full-time job, plus trying to hang out with family, and plus trying to work on my other goals, not just YouTube, plus like trying to find where can I live, move out of my parents' house, maybe buy a house, maybe buy a van, maybe, there's like a lot. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to fit this in, but I'm going to try. Fears, I don't know that I really had fears. I was just like, if I fail, that will look pretty terrible. Like, I'll feel really bad and I'll be really down on myself, I guess. What's been the hardest part so far? Some people might say ideas. I have so many video ideas. It's just that sometimes I don't have the space to be able to sit down and really think about it and plan things out as much as I want to. I think that's been the hardest part, planning things out and having the space to really dive deep into things that I really want to talk about more. Because sometimes I'm like, okay, I have this thing that I want to talk about, but as soon as I'm trying to turn on my camera or whatever, like kids interrupting me or, it's just a fact of motherhood. And so I think that's been the hardest part. Have you ever wanted to quit? Yes, for sure. There's been days where I'm like, I could just stop this. What's the point? And I think those have been my really down days or my really struggling days. And I think honestly that was more at the beginning, because at this point I'm much more, it's part of my routine. It's part of my day to day. I'm just like, I'm this far in, I'm going to get through the year. It's only 1 year. And after that, we'll see what happens. But I've definitely had moments where I was like, I can just quit. How do you keep going when you feel like there's nothing left to give? Okay. I learned this a long time ago. I actually learned it from a book called Tiny Habits by BJ Fogg. I know a lot of other people talked about Atomic Habits by James Clear. Both books, and this idea that you have a tiny version of your habit, like a baby, super small, tiny version of a habit. If you want a regular habit, a daily habit in your life, you need to have the tiniest version, like thought out, like what would the bare minimum be of this? Because there are always going to be those days where you're like, I don't have time, I can't do it, there's no way. And so I gave myself permission from the very beginning to make a 30-second video, whatever it has to be, as long as I just upload something. So giving myself that permission, I was like, if I can make this take 5 minutes on a day that I have no time for anything, you can still have 5 minutes. So yeah, I just remind myself it's only a year. I want to see what comes of it. I set my mind to it. Let me just try it. I need to actually follow through. And then the accountability, I'm way better with outside accountability. So thank you for being here. How did your cultural background play into the emotional weight of this challenge? This is interesting. I think most of my family... Okay, so we grew up without TV. Of course, we grew up without phones. I mean, phones didn't exist back in the day. No social media either. So then some of my siblings still to this day, they're just not very phone centric. Like I don't think people can necessarily do without their phones at this point. I mean, they could, but I have some siblings who just like really don't give a rip about the phones, about social media, about YouTube, or about, they don't get it. They don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know if half of my siblings even know necessarily that I'm doing this or like why I would do it. But some that do know, they're like, it just totally doesn't even make sense to them. And so that sometimes like plays into my wanting to quit, or like, what am I doing here? Because there's a whole world out there, a real live 3D physical world. And this a lot of times feels so, it's an online world. It's a virtual world. It's a made up world. Like, obviously the people behind the comments and the people behind the likes, you're real, but I just don't have that physical interaction with you. So it just sometimes feels like this weird, like video game almost, where it doesn't feel real in a way. So that's, I guess, where my background kind of plays into, I don't know if you'd say necessarily the emotional weight of this challenge, but just it's a part of trying to do it because I want to do it and not let other people's questioning or misunderstandings of things affect what I want to do. Like, really trying to listen to my own self and be like, no, I'm standing in my truth. I'm standing in my desire. This is what I desire to do, so I'm gonna do it. It doesn't matter what you think. What have you learned about yourself? I have learned that I'm way stronger than I thought. Oh my gosh, I've learned so many things, honestly. One of them being just the discipline of doing the same thing every day. Not the same thing, but doing the habit every single day. Having that in my routine, like as a no excuses, it's gonna happen every single day. I have realized that when I think I'm just so dead tired, I still have 5 more minutes worth of energy. And a lot of times if I have 5 minutes worth of energy, I have 10 minutes or an hour and I can stay up late. I have learned that if I really put my mind to something, I can do it. It starts with the mind. Oh my gosh, I should probably make a whole video about like things I've learned about myself from this, because it's not just the video of it. There's other things I've been doing, like working out is one thing. I didn't know how much I could push myself physically even. Yeah, there's been a lot of different parts of the challenge of daily video. I'm doing certain things in my life as a result of the accountability that I feel I have through the daily video, like my daily habits, even like journaling every single day. That has helped me realize things about myself. And yeah, so there's a lot. There's really a lot. What's changed in your mindset, creativity, or emotional expression? I've definitely expressed myself a lot more emotionally. My mindset, again, it's like a discipline. Like I can keep doing things, even if I sometimes don't think I have any reserve left in me. Yeah. And then creativity. I think I've realized that I don't need to be creative in the ways that other people are. I don't have to make videos the way other people do. I'm way better at just like raw, real moments and just kind of turn on the camera and run with it instead of planning things out or really making a big production. So what's been the most surprising thing about this journey? Most surprising. I thought I would make more production type videos. I thought I would definitely, well, I did for a time make, thought out thumbnails and like made them more of a piece of art instead of just like a screenshot. I thought I was going to figure out my thumbnail type. I thought I was going to do the same type of thumbnail every time. I did not expect myself to end up doing screenshots. And I thought I would kind of like develop a certain way that I do videos. And yes, I have it in a way, but also it's just so real to my life instead of being a polished movie type of video. So I guess that's been surprising. I did not expect to go into the more raw type of video. How has this challenge changed you? Again, so many ways. I've improved so many things. I think two big things. One is I'm stronger than I thought I was. I can do so much more than I thought I could. I can be so much more productive in a day than I ever thought I could. I swear when you have the most things that you need to do is when you realize you can do so many things. When you don't have much going on, you're like, yeah, you just sit down and scroll for a while. You could take like an hour to do the dishes. Everything's kind of like no time limit. But when you have deadlines, you have so many things that you need to do in a day. It's amazing how much you can get done. What does daily discomfort mean to you now? Honestly, I've been thinking about actually like re-theming my videos to literally be focused on doing something uncomfortable, not discomfortable. Specifically something uncomfortable in every single video, but it has felt like that's going to be too much work to figure out. Like it's already a lot to film and upload every single day. So then adding in having to think about, okay, what is my daily discomfort going to be? It just seems like too much at this point. So what does daily discomfort mean to me? It's literally can be the smallest thing. I think I have thought about expanding the comfort zone as such a like, oh, you gotta like this funny thing that my dad did once is, get an ice cream cone from McDonald's, they've had like 59-cent cones or whatever. So he'll eat the ice cream out of it. He can't have the cone, like it gives him a stomach ache. So he went back up to the cashier and said, can I get a refill? And I think he's done this multiple times at this point. But to me, like I have thought about expanding the comfort zone as like you have to do things that feel really scary to you. But no, daily discomfort is just like you can do the smallest little tiny thing and it still helps expand your comfort zone. What advice would you give to someone who wants to do something like this? What advice would I give? Do it. I would say do it. I would say commit to something small first, like 30 days. I started out with 30 days. And then when I was getting towards the end, I was like, oh my gosh, harebrained idea. What if I do this for 365 days? And then I just said, okay, well, let me just try and see how far I can go. And then at some point I was like, there's no way I'm ending this streak ever. I have to get to 365. So again, I feel like this could be a whole video, but my advice, just try it. Don't worry about perfection. I swear, so many people starting on YouTube, they're so worried about like, oh, it has to be the first video has to be the best video. No, you have like crickets watching you at the beginning, unless you're some crazy million views first video viral person. But honestly, you just iterate and move on. Like if you have some weird mistake or some weird thing in your video, like people don't really, I'm not trying to say this in a mean way, but people don't care. If someone's watching your video, then they're watching your video. It's not like the haters come when you have millions of views, I should say. Like I have over 2,000 subscribers. That's a lot of people. But at this relatively small compared to other channels, it's such a great community compared to when you have 1 million subscribers, you're probably going to have a few haters. So don't be afraid of what people are going to see. What are you excited about for the second half of the year? I'm excited to be done. I'm excited for accomplishing some of my goals, some of big dreams that I've been working towards, that I've been wanting to accomplish. I'm excited to cross this off my bingo board as a completed goal. I'm excited for growing the community more. I'm excited for learning more about myself, becoming more my authentic self, stepping into my truth and sharing more, being more emotional with people, being more vulnerable, just growing personally, personal growth, emotional growth, physical growth. I'm all about it. So that's what I'm most excited about. What's your vision for the channel? Growth. Helping people grow, seeing other people grow, having more connections with you in the comments, or even eventually maybe doing live stuff. I imagine, this is so funny to me because I don't remember what video I shared it in recently, but a story of a classmate of mine in 8th grade saying something about me speaking on stages when I grow older, or like in my career later in life. And I was like, there is no freaking way in you know where. I was like, there's no way I am ever going to do that, because I was so shy in 8th grade. It was like, I am not going to speak on stages. I am not going to speak to people there. No way. That is not for me. And here I am saying, yes, I actually think I want to do that. I think that would be amazing. I think I do have a lot to share, and I'm learning that about myself. And I'm learning I don't have to act like my life is just another average Joe, and I can share my story. And even if I have goodness, I can't even talk because even if my life is such an average Joe life, every person can learn something from every other person. So that means that other people can learn from me and my experiences and my life story. So I want to motivate, inspire, influence, and help transform people's lives, like actually transform. I was chatting with ChatGPT, and I was, asking about these ideas and what could I do to help people and empower people and whatnot. And I was asking, are there other people out there that already do these types of things? And it was like Jay Shetty, Brene Brown, Brendan Burchard, Lewis Howes, and listing all these people that do these types of things. But then it was made a comment like, but you're not a motivational coach. You're a transformational coach. And I loved that term. I resonate with it. And I feel that that is definitely something I want to be able to do, is really transform and help people transform their lives, and not just motivate them. Like motivate, I feel like it's such a, I don't know what the word is. It's a fluffy word, I guess. Do you think you'll continue daily videos after the 365? I think I'm going to feel really weird about stopping it, but I'm definitely going to stop, because it's not a sustainable thing that could keep going on and on. I don't think, unless I get to a point where I'm like, okay, this is really easy, really nice, really, it just fits into my schedule and routine. I'm putting other things to the side to prioritize this year. And so I don't want to continue to do that. There's other things that I'd like to prioritize on top of daily video. What impact do you hope this project will leave behind for others and for yourself? I hope I inspire people. Again, it goes back to exactly what I was just saying, like transforming people's lives and really making a difference and helping people see that they can move the needle. They can adjust their lives. They can transform their lives. They can do what they want. They can reach their dreams. They can achieve things. They can live their happy, content life in the daily grind. No. The daily doesn't have to be a daily grind. Let's put it that way. The daily can be daily happiness, daily habits, daily freedom, daily discomfort that helps you live a great life. And then I'm also teaching myself the same as well as I go through it myself. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any other questions below. I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Thanks for being here. Bye.